I'm Jean Szulc and welcome. In this video I want to talk about my application process to conservatoires in the UK. More specifically, I want to talk about my interview. So I was accepted at a few conservatoires in the UK for an undergraduate degree in composition. So my story will be different from the story of many others because I am an international student, I'm Brazilian. I was accepted in composition, so there is a very specific process if you want to get into composition. And also, this was all pre-pandemics, like we had no idea a pandemic was going to happen like by the time I was applying. So like all of this happened like in the end of last year, the beginning of this year, 2020. And yeah, I just want to tell my story and maybe give you a little bit of insight into like the process, how I felt, how like the whole thing around it. So to begin with, I will give just a little bit of context behind the whole process. I have other videos talking about that, so I won't get deep into that. If you want, you can click on the cards in here that I will put in the video and go into the description, because I will link the other videos so that you can check it out about applying to conservatoires if you're interested in that. But the process consists, at least for composition, it consists basically in sending a portfolio. And then they will evaluate your portfolio, and each conservatoire will have different guidelines as to like what do you have to send in your portfolio. Some will ask like 3 pieces, some will say like 2 to 5 pieces, and in thesis you have to show just your best, or just the best side of yourself, basically like what you're really proud of. So that's what I did. I sent an individual portfolio to a few different conservatoires, and I got accepted at some of them. I got accepted at 3 conservatoires, but the thing is, I got accepted at basically my main choice, and then I didn't even do the interview and the next steps for the other ones. So the interview sometimes may have like other steps in the process, kind of like maybe you will have to sight read something, or like clap some rhythms or something like this. They may ask you to do something like this. In my case, they didn't. And my interview was done, like it was a video interview, all via Skype, because I'm an international student, so that I didn't have to travel all the way to the UK. So after I got accepted, I basically got like a date for the interview via email. And the thing is, I checked the website of my conservatoire, my chosen conservatoire, and I looked for basically like what will this interview consist of. And you have to do that for your main options, or for all the conservatoires you want to interview to, because they have different processes, and some of them you will have to prepare for it. And in the website it said that I might have to analyze a piece. There might be some like rhythm clapping. I might have to sight read some rhythm, sight read some stuff. So I just said, okay, I really need to prepare for that, because perhaps I will have a lot of trouble if I get rejected from this place after they looked at my portfolio and I pretty much got accepted. So I didn't want to get rejected after being accepted. And what I did is I started analyzing a lot of scores. Like they asked for 20th century music analysis. So basically I analyzed scores from different composers, from different tendencies, just so that I wasn't caught off guard. Maybe like if they ask a piece I have never heard about, or maybe like from a tendency I have no idea about like what it was during the 20th century. So like I had to prepare for that, and I read lots of scores. I analyzed them actually very like kind of not very thoroughly, but just trying to look into it and be able to talk about it for 15 minutes or so, because that's kind of what they would expect from you in that situation. I also harmonized stuff just so that like they could possibly ask that, so I just did exercises, this kind of stuff. At the end, I didn't even do any of that in my interview, but I'll get into that in the future. Well, the day of the interview was kind of a crazy one, because like although like I felt like I wouldn't get rejected because I had practiced a lot, and like I was already accepted, you know, like I had already gotten the place. There wasn't like a lot of pressure. However, I felt really pressured to do this interview, like because I don't know, it's crazy. Like you're preparing for it like for a long time, and then suddenly you have to like do something on the spot. And this something on the spot that you have to do, like it might completely break your whole process of application if you do it horribly wrong. and like it feels like it's a lot of stuff, but like looking back, it really isn't. So like in the day of the application, I just woke up in a time in which I would have plenty of time to like wake up, brush my teeth, take a shower, eat, and be fine for like during the interview. And the thing is, I woke up a little bit too early. I kind of like over prepared, and I had like a lot of time in my hands suddenly, and it felt really awkward because I was just waiting a call, and I didn't feel like doing anything. I was just like, dude, I just have to sit down here and wait. And I just sat at the couch, and then I laid down, and I was like, dude, like this is crazy. Like there's nothing in my mind. Like my mind completely cleared up, and like the thing is, it wasn't really a big deal, as I was saying. Like I was just going to talk to someone, but like it felt like there was a lot of pressure, and like I felt like, okay, I'm gonna nap, I'm gonna try to do something, but I couldn't. I just kept thinking, okay, like I can't fail this, and like looking back, I like this is like the opposite of how I should have felt. But like when you're going through like this kind of stuff, there's no way you can prepare for it like other than like doing it more than once, you know. Like you can try to prepare for it, but like when you're on the spot, like there's no way you can really be sure of what's going to happen. But anyways, the time came, and I was able to talk to the interviewer. He was like a really nice guy, and the thing is, like I've talked to him since quite a few times. And also like what's interesting about it is that like I knew that he was going to be on my interview. There was perhaps going to be someone else, but I was sure that he was going to be on my interview. So I listened to his music a lot. I read like kind of a small biography of him like on his website, and I tried to understand like who was I going to talk to. And like after I looked at this like huge list of like prizes and like all this great list of achievements that like this professor has, and like the fantastic compositions that he has, it was like this helped build up the pressure. But at the same time, I was very interested because I like really enjoyed his music, and this is something I highly recommend, because if you're going to audition or interview, like do an interview with someone, it is important that you kind of have an idea of who can actually interview you, because if you know that person like at least a little bit, you will feel like you're not talking to a stranger. Basically, you will know kind of what that person like looks for in people, what that person achieved, and you will have more topics to bring up if you need them. And this helped me a lot because I loved his pieces, and like as soon as we started discussing, I kind of felt like yeah, great, like I really want to talk about this aspects or like this subject with this person. This is more than an interview, it is just great opportunity for me to learn, really. So this completely changed the mindset for me once I got into the interview, because it all felt really interesting actually. And in the interview, I know it's really hard to stay calm because like it is a big deal, you are going through a lot. But at the same time, I assure you, like the people who will interview you will be nice. They will be like simply nice people to talk to. They will be interesting people. They will have like a huge backing in their craft. And not only that, like they will quite possibly be your teachers. So try not seeing this as kind of like, I'm gonna get interviewed in a very crushing process. I'm gonna actually meet the people who will teach me for the next like X years, right? So go with this particular mindset because it really helps. So my interview itself was completely centered around my portfolio. So first the interviewer asked me like, where are you from? Like he asked me questions about myself, my backing, and I just answered those, trying to like be interesting and like not make too much of a big deal about it, but like don't feel like you're filling in a form. You're actually with someone who is genuinely interested in you, because that person like looked through your portfolio and that person felt like you are a good choice for the institution, for the teacher. So like they are betting on you. So it's like don't go in as if you're filling in a form and you just have to like get into the university. Just like talk to that person because that person is actually interested in you. And because my interview was completely centered around my portfolio, I basically had to discuss like what went through my mind when I was composing. So in other words, like the interviewer said, okay, this piece is interesting, like that's what I find of it, maybe you borrowed from this place, maybe you were influenced by these composers, like what are your thoughts on it? Like, and I said, okay, like the thing is, the interviewer gave me a lot to work with, and I felt like I could expand on what he was saying quite a lot. I just like felt like it would be more interesting for me to like keep a conversation instead of simply like explain directly, kind of as in like a script, what went through my mind. So I just started discussing with him. I said, yeah, like that what you said about it being influenced by that composer, that's not true because it was influenced by that other composer, but I see like why you would say that, and like now looking at it, maybe I have been influenced by that composer kind of unconsciously, and like a lot of stuff like you can build upon what people say, and it's just important to show through the things you say that you are listening. Just like I said, my answers weren't simply like direct answers. They were like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, like that's how I disagree with it, or that's how I agree with it. I just try to create a conversation and like just build up and add to what people are saying, and make sure you are like actually open to criticism, because the thing is that person will maybe teach you for the next 4 years, and if you're not open to criticism, if that person feels like you're not going to allow like people to help you get better, that person won't be interested in you, because your interviewer, your teacher will feel like, why would I try to teach someone who doesn't want to learn? And this is something like this doesn't like is applied only to interview process, but like this is very important. Show that you are listening to what the person is saying, and that you are actually learning from it, that you have potential to get better, and not simply that you're there and you're so great, you got in. No, you are there to get even better. That's what they want to see. They want to see that you are willing to grow within your studies. And that was basically my whole interview. We basically discussed like how my pieces work, what did I think, like what went through my mind while composing it, and why did I make certain choices, certain decisions. And something I felt was very important for me to say was I articulated them in time. So like I said, I composed this piece first, so you can see that there are like mistakes, like this kind of mistakes, but then I acknowledged those and like after I finished that piece, and then my next piece, which is this one, it's like it doesn't have the same mistakes, you know. And then in my third piece, it's even better because like I thought through the process of composition and I fixed those mistakes. So there are no more mistakes of that kind. But I also see those mistakes in my new piece, so my next pieces won't have those. I will take care of them. And don't try to make yourself sound like a completely accomplished composer. You know, show that you are improving and that your improvement is constant and conscious. You know, like just don't say, yeah, this is my greatest piece, like I would never change anything about it. Just take a look at it. You will find stuff you would change, and like spot those mistakes, spot those things you have to change, and actually display them as proof that you won't make those mistakes anymore. It's better to be conscious about your mistakes and show that you're conscious about the problems you have than to try to hide those, because you can't hide those. Like you're showing your portfolio to someone who has like maybe 30 years of experience looking over scores. So like you can't hide stuff, you know? There's no reason to. They will understand. They want you to be able to build your 30 years of experience, and they want to help you build it in a way that's better for you. They just want to understand how you're working. You basically have already gotten in. So you just have to prove that they did bet on the right person. Just don't be a jerk in any way. You're talking to someone who's much better than you, and like if you want to get to the level of that person, you need to work with that person. So use this as an opportunity to learn as well. You know, just go as if you were going into a class or something, because this just helps. It just puts you at ease, and it helps you make better decisions, talk about stuff in a better way, and show to whoever's talking to you that you are actually interested in the course, in learning, and not simply in like having a degree from that place because it is fancy or something. You know, you just have to show that you are there for a reason, and yeah, that's it. So I hope this was able to help you, and like this isn't a very informative video as well, but it is actually a video that tells my story. And I think that if I heard someone telling their story, like how did I go through the interview for my composition degree, I think I would be more at ease, because like the thing is, I studied, I did what I had to do. But even though I did everything that I should be doing, like it felt hard to do it, because there was a lot of pressure. There's just a lot of stuff really, and what I want is for you to not feel that way if you're applying. So hopefully this brought you some perspective into the process of interviewing, and like if you want to learn more about the bureaucracy and the logistics of the process, I have other videos about that. I have a video on how to do a portfolio, so check those in the description, as I said. Thank you a lot for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to receive more and show me that you did enjoy the video. And if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a comment down below, because it really bumps me up to do like more videos about it. And thank you a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.